cold stone floor. We just got back from Paris, and of course the day before we left, we had all of our boxes delivered from the shipping containers, and I only had a couple of hours to unpack. So I've come back to a house that is covered in boxes, really messy. People had started unpacking boxes, but not actually organizing and putting it away, just literally pulling stuff out and putting it on the floor. So that waking up to a house that had so much work, was so messy and felt so bad, I noticed that I had the urge to, this is going to sound funny, after driving out there so many times and being so sick of going out there, I woke up with the urge to go to IKEA. But in the same moment that I was feeling that pull, I also was able to recognize in myself that it wasn't, in fact, that I wanted or needed to go to IKEA, but it was the fact that IKEA offered me two good feelings or inputs by going there. One, being in the space there where they have all the different little displays, which feel to me like the equivalent of trying on a pretty outfit, of getting to try on all those spaces and sit in them and be in them. And they're all complete and they're in different colors and styles. To me, is really fun and feels really good. I like feeling how it feels to be in all those spaces. And there's a great big wave of positive energy in for me being in those surroundings, because I get to see all those nicely executed spaces, albeit very cheap and made of pressboard. And the other thing that I think my brain is telling me is like, go to the place that you feel good and then get the things that they have there so that you can make your place feel good. But the truth is, I don't need to buy anything from IKEA. And in fact, the reason that I wake up this morning feeling out of balance and gross and negative and not liking my space is because there's so much stuff in it and it's so disorganized that I feel out of balance and overwhelmed and unhappy, and that feels like a negative input. And really what I want is, I think I want, and my brain wants, to get me back in balance of it feeling good. So it occurs to me that this is really similar to like feeling stressed out and you've got a lot to do and your boss just yelled at you and your kids are fussing and you've got to do the dishes and all these different things that are all negative. So like for me, maybe it's, why don't I get a piece of chocolate or something sweet and tasty? That's a nice little positive input that makes me feel good in that moment. But the truth is, kind of like having sugar, all those little momentary but not actually helpful good inputs in the long run really negatively mount up and affect you. And that feels like the same thing to me as the urge to go to IKEA and buy some stuff that in the moment feels like, well, that space looked good and felt good, so I'm going to buy those things and bring them home with me, and then my home will look good and feel good. But really, it would just get more cluttery and more out of balance and not feel better. So it strikes me that I've got to slow down and that I have to do something that actually affects the long-term balance and harmony and good input of my space, of getting it to feel better, which in this case is unpacking boxes. It's getting rid of another round of stuff. It's arranging and organizing things nicely, that it serves me much better to put my energy into what will be a positive rebalancing input for Lily long-term, not the thing that just feels good in the short term and actually undermines the long term. Now, if, like me, you are the kid of an immigrant or someone who was brought up to be careful with what they have, to squirrel away and store and save, for me, both sets of my grandparents lived through wars, occupation of their homeland, famine, and the Great Depression, like those times of real stress and dire straits and need and seeing everything that you have disappear. I think that's so deep and so primal that even though it's more, it's more than one generation back, it's my grandparents, give me the same messaging of like, what if I need it? It's still good. It has value. All these different things that don't always serve me in my present moment. And it helps me to realize that part of working on what's better for the rebalancing in the long term is also dealing with that deeper thread of safety and security and in this moment and what might I need in the future, that I have to look at those things and understand them also with a little bit of balance, and maybe even with a little bit of, I'm not saying that what my grandparents or parents learned themselves and then taught me, or that they say or think in this moment, is wrong. But I don't know that all of that serves me in this moment, or that taking it to the extreme of, well, I have to keep and save and I need everything because what about, because just in case, because I spent money on it. All those different things aren't helping me and my family and finding that balance now in this moment. So for anybody that's felt that too, I think taking a moment to pause and realize some of the roots of it. Also to examine what are the roots of it for yourself. I know for me, I have to untangle some of what I have been taught and what I feel in order to find a place of a little more perspective so that I can craft and choose, how do I want to be? What do I want my house to be like? What do I want the space around me and my family to be? Not what am I scared of happening? What do I wish that it were, but it's not attainable? Not what's just a series of little instant dopamine hits of what are little good inputs that feel good right now, but maybe don't help me solve that long-term balance. So I've got my hair tied back. I'm ready to work. I don't like this feeling of so much work and so much stuff and overwhelm. It kind of makes me feel like getting myself distracted by doing something else or getting stuck in somewhere specific. But instead, I'm just going to go slowly and calmly and happily and joyfully. I'm appreciative of the things that are here and that I have. I'm excited that what has made it has made it. Some things are broken. We'll talk about that later. And I'm going to have fun unpacking and organizing and really crafting, what do I want to have around me? What do I choose to have around me? Where can I find this new balance? And that probably honestly means not only unpacking and arranging things, but it also probably means another couple layers of divesting of things to make that physical and psychological space for what do I choose to have around me? What do I choose to have in my home and in my space, as opposed to what's here and can I buy a container to put it in so that it looks nice? It's what things do I want? What do I want to have around me? And where do I want to have openness and space? And just having the flow cleared of like, my kitchen I have what I need, everything's functioning. It's arranged in a pleasing way and the space feels balanced and harmonious. It also makes me think of the other examples in which this feels really true, like maybe with somebody's closet or wardrobe. It's stuffed full of stuff. They feel like they don't have anything to wear. Their closet is too small. They hate what's in it. They're not wearing what they like. So what feels like our brain is telling us is, well, why don't you go online and go shopping to look for something pretty that is the way that you want to dress yourself and the way that you want to see and be seen in the world. And then you'll buy it and then you'll feel better. And then maybe you can get a bigger closet and then you can fit all the things that you want to have and they will be tidy and organized and not messy and cluttered. But the truth is, that's probably a little bit like my urge to like eat a sweet because it feels good in that moment. And that maybe the long-term thing would be to clear out all the things that you don't really like, anything that has a condition, right? I will wear this if the weather is right. I will wear this if I fit into it better. I would wear this if it were fixed or mended or the zipper wasn't broken. Okay, if it's a matter of fixing something, then fix it. And if you're never going to fix it, then go ahead and let it go. And if it has a condition that you can't really solve, like changing the weather of where you live or how tall you are, then go ahead and let that go too. Because the truth is, you're never going to like it until those conditions are met. And much like my house and all my boxes and stuff, it frees me up. And I'm thinking of this example because I have the teeniest of closets that I don't see how anybody could have this little clothing. I'll show it to you. And I'm feeling kind of panicky about having to unpack my wardrobe that come. And I definitely won't have space. And so my head starts thinking, well, I could go to IKEA and buy a dresser, which I could then fit more stuff in. And then maybe on the shelves, if I had some dividers, that I could fit stuff in better there. But the truth is, some of the things that have come, I don't like them very much. And I don't think they necessarily feel like what I want to be wearing here. And then I feel bad because I've paid to buy them and paid to bring them here, but now they don't feel right. I think honestly the truth is that doing another couple rounds of what doesn't feel right in France and what do I not really need to take back to the US, and being okay with letting those items go. And then working within the space that I have already, and what can I do with it? And to free up enough physical space and mental space to then be able to like craft, okay, what do I want to look like? How do I want to adorn myself? What do I want to be wearing? What is functional and useful and what isn't, letting all of that go so that then I can arrange what is left in a way that is functional and for me that looks in a way that I find visually calming or appealing, so that all of that is a positive. And then it leaves me a little space to slowly, carefully, and in a balanced way, as I find items that really feel like they help support that new look or wardrobe or aesthetic that I want to craft for myself, I now have the space to add those in because I'm not already overwhelmed by having too much. Does that make sense? I feel like it makes sense in here, but I don't say this because I'm good at it. I say it because I'm bad at it and because I'm learning and because I want to be better and I'm getting better, which makes me excited for where I can be and where my home can be and will be in the future as I continue to learn more and figure out more and find new, better, healthier, more balanced long-term ways of arranging my space and my things around me. It makes me excited for what new things I can be open to learning and new tools I can acquire and patterns of behavior. It's not because I know how to do it or I'm good at it. It's the opposite, but that I want to learn openly. Which brings me around to, can you please tell me what you've learned or what insight you've had so that you can share it with me and we can all learn from you? I'm really curious and excited to be able to hear from you what insight you've had or what thing you've learned or what was a helpful way for you to frame your thinking about it. Make a little video, put it on YouTube, post it as an unlisted video, and then send me the link to it in a comment. It would be so much fun to learn from you. All right, now to unpacking. I'm sure I forgot some things and I'll add them back in later, but I'm just gonna go ahead and get to work. Bye.